Are we ready? Mr. Sugg?
Yep.
All right. Calling to order. City Council special meeting, 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, June 30th, 2020. Mr. Sugg, will you call the order?
Mayor Karen Moran,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Christy Malchow,
Present.
Councilmember Ken Gamblin,
Present.
Councilmember Jason Ritchie,
Here.
Councilmember Chris Ross,
Present.
Councilmember Pamela Stewart,
Here.
and Councilmember Kent Treen.
Present.
Great, everybody's here. Meeting accessibility. Pursuant to the Governor's Emergency Proclamation 20-25, the city is unable to provide an in-person location for the public to listen to the virtual City Council meeting this evening. Meetings are still accessible to the public and public comment is able to be submitted. To view live, the city website, www.sammamish.us/TV21. City Facebook, www.facebook.com/cityofsammamish.washington/. Comcast Channel 21 within Sammamish City only. And to view later, meeting videos are available the day after the meeting on the city website at www.sammamish.us/TV21 and on YouTube and on Comcast 21 within the city. And for the pledge, Deputy Mayor, would you please lead us?
I'd be happy to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any comment? Okay, first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Great. Public comment. Again, pursuant to the Governor's Emergency Proclamation 20-25, the city is unable to provide an in-person location for the public to listen to the virtual City Council meeting this evening. Meetings are still accessible to the public and public comment is able to be submitted. Written comment. Written comment will be accepted until 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Submit your written comments by email to the Deputy Clerk, City Clerk at lhatchie@sammamish.us and the City Council at citycouncil@sammamish.us. Verbal comment. Up to 3 minutes of verbal comment may be provided per person live during the meeting. Call the following number and input, and the access code will be prompted by 6:30 p.m. the day of the meeting. The phone number, 1-571-317-3122. Access code, 929-348-197. Once you have joined, you will be placed on mute. The meeting operator will unmute you when it is your turn to comment. You will hear an automated voice say unmuted when that occurs, and the operator will ask you to begin your comment. If you would like to provide public comment on the public hearing, please say so when unmuted. You will be placed back on mute, and you'll have an opportunity to speak at the public hearing. Mr. Sugg.
Thank you, Mayor. I see we have one caller who has called in tonight to provide public comment. As the mayor mentioned, I will unmute callers in the order in which they join the meeting. In this case, we only have one. When it's your turn, you'll hear an automated voice say unmuted, and then you'll have 3 minutes to provide comment. If you have called in to provide comment on the public hearing, please say so when unmuted, and I will place you back on hold so that we can return to you when that agenda item comes up. Please start your comment by stating your name and the city you live in for the record, and I will now go ahead and unmute you. All right, first caller, have you called to provide public comment or comment on the public hearing?
Public comment.
All right, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Ramakrishna Vedalapalli, or Ram Dutt. I'm the president of Rotary Club of Sammamish. This is a letter that was sent to all the council members and the city government. This letter is addressed to the Honorable Karen Moran, the Mayor of Sammamish. Dear Mayor Moran, we thank the city of Sammamish for support of the Nightmare at Beaver Lake in 2019. Since June 30th is the end of our Rotary fiscal year, we wanted to share with you how we are utilizing the funds raised to support our community and beyond. For the health and safety of our patrons and volunteers, we are suspending Nightmare in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With more than 15,000 visitors plus our local sponsors, the Rotary Club of Sammamish has been able to donate more than $100,000 in grants to support our community. We have provided funding to local community agencies supporting seniors, schools, families, and food security of over $35,000. Vocational scholarships to graduating seniors from each of the 3 Sammamish high schools for a student's retraining at Lake Washington Vocational, for a veteran at Renton Vocational, for an outstanding Nightmare volunteer, plus continuing monthly school year recognition with the high schools for like students of the month or year, and we have contributed over $12,000. International relief support for water projects, education, and basic health services in Guatemala, Tanzania, Haiti, and Ethiopia, an international young professional exchange with Japan, and to the Rotary International Polio Plus efforts worldwide in the amount of $34,000. COVID-19 response to support local organizations providing assistance for rent, utilities, food, basic needs, plus food, and support to nonprofit organizations at work in Africa and Central America, together currently totaling more than $30,000. We are initiating a matching campaign to raise $30,000 to address food insecurity in Washington. Operation Full Belly, to be launched in September. We are partnering with Harvest Against Hunger, a local nonprofit that connects families, truckers, volunteers, and food banks to reduce hunger and food waste. The Sammamish Rotary COVID-19 Response Fund will continue to address and support basic needs over the next several months or more. Nightmare funds have also supported the charitable efforts of our event volunteers, the Kiwanis Clubs of Sammamish, Issaquah, and Redmond, Rotary Clubs in Issaquah and Redmond, and with Explorer Scouts, Athletes for Kids, Horse Riders, Scare Productions, and other nonprofits. Thank you for partnering with Rotary Club of Sammamish and with our Nightmare at Beaver Lake. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you do. That's a lot of amazing work. Okay, so there's nobody else on the line. Okay. So we are going to move forward. The next up, we have our public hearing. And okay, so we have a continued public hearing. Do we need to close that public hearing then? Okay.
Is there anyone else? Okay.
Okay.
I move that we close the TIP hearing and postpone TIP adoption.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Did you want to speak to your motion?
Yes, please. The city is currently engaged at significant expense in taking steps to comply with the Growth Management Hearing Board remand in the Gerund matter. These include consideration of amendments to the comprehensive plan transportation element, which is related to the TIP, and potentially amendments to other comprehensive plan elements that may be necessary to maintain consistency. I have therefore moved to close the public hearing and postpone the TIP matter because it would be inappropriate to adopt a TIP that could be viewed as preempting the compliance process. When it is appropriate, we can return to the TIP matter and reopen the public hearing, informed by what we have learned through the compliance process.
Okay, thank you. I have one person in the queue, Councilmember Gamblin.
Yep. I motion that we call the question on this.
Okay,
Second.
okay, we've got a first and a, who was the second on that? Or-
I think we just have to vote. You don't need a,
Okay.
you don't need a motion. or a
So, all in favor of calling for the vote, raise your hands because I can see everybody. Say aye.
second. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so how about all those opposed? That's just easier. Okay, 2. All right, so we're going to call for the question. I'm going to do it.
We're not going to discuss it at all.
We just, the question got called.
I know, I'm just clarifying to the public that we're doing this and we're not even going to have a chance to discuss. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go through Councilmember Trine.
Aye.
Councilmember Stewart.
Nay.
Councilmember Ross.
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie.
Nay.
Councilmember Gamblin.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor.
Aye.
And myself is an aye. So it is a 5-2 vote. Deputy Mayor? Aye. And myself is an aye. So it is a 5-2 vote.
What is that?
Vote on.
That's weird.
That is weird.
So adjourn then?
Okay.
Are we done?
Okay, unfinished business, new business. We've got council report.
Mine's there for you to read.
Everybody can read. Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Adjourn. Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Raise your
Aye.
hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Everybody, we'll see you next week.
Thank you all.
Thanks.